Atau mau kedua?
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Allah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahmanirrahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Taha ma anzalna 'alaika al-Qur'ana litashqa illa tazkiratan liman yakhsha tanzilan mimman khalaqal arda was-samawati al-'ula. Ar-Rahmanu 'ala al-'arsyi istawa lahu ma fis samawati wa ma fil ardi wa ma bainahuma wa ma tahta ath-thara. وإن تجهر بالقول فإنه يعلم السر وأخفى. الله لا إله إلا هو له الأسماء الحسنى. وهل أتاك حديث موسى إذ رأى نارا فقال لأهلهم امكثوا إني آنست نارا لعلي آتيكم منها بقبس أو أجد على النار هدى. فلما أتاها نودي يا موسى إني أنا ربك فاخلع نعليك إنك بالوادي المقدس طوى. وأنا اخترتك فاستمع لما يوحى. إنني أنا الله لا إله إلا أنا فاعبدني وأقم الصلاة لذكري. إن الساعة آتية أكاد أخفيها لتجزى كل نفس بما تسعى. فلا يصدنك عنها من لا يؤمن بها واتبع هواه فتردى. وما تلك بيمينك يا موسى؟ قال هي عصاي أتوكل عليها وأحش بها على غنمي ولي فيها مآرب أخرى. قال ألقها يا موسى فألقاها فإذا هي حية تسعى. قال خذها ولا تخف سنعيدها سيرتها الأولى. واضم يدك إلى جناحك تخرج بيضاء من غير سوء آية أخرى لنريك من آياتنا الكبرى. اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى. قال رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا برحمتك شر ما قضيت فإنك تقضي ولا يقضى عليك وإنه لا يضل من وليت ولا يئس من عليت تبارك ربنا وتعاليت ولك الحمد على من قضيت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. يا ربنا لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلالك وعظيم سلطانك. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه اللهم نسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين. اللهم نسألك سلامة في الدين العلم وبركة الرزق وتوبة قبل الموت ورحمة بعد الموت. اللهم حول علينا في سكرة الموت والنجاة من النار والعفو من الحساب. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك الرحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Bisa 7.30 9.30 misalnya.
Assalamualaikum everyone.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you everyone that's joining the summer camp. I want to thank all the parents and all the volunteers and especially the campers for making it this far. Inshallah, today is the last day and the third day of the summer camp. We'll be having a reflection maybe by Brother Anis later on, and we'll have the Sholat at 5:30, and then we'll have from 6:15 to 7:30. We'll just be having a break, restroom, and then inshallah we'll have breakfast at 7:30 today. After that, we'll have our first talk, which will be a discussion about being Muslim in America from 9:30 to 11 a.m. And then inshallah we'll have a college panel for the youth to learn about college and future planning from 11:30 to 12:30. And we'll have our lunch from 12:30 to 1 p.m. From there we'll have our Zuhur prayer. And inshallah with Brother Farhan Kara, we'll have a calligraphy course from 1:30 to 2:20. And then for those who did the vision board last night, and for those who want to create a vision board, we'll be continuing our vision board activity from 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. today, inshallah. From 4 to 5, we'll have a reflection and closing farewell, and then we'll end it off with at 5:30 p.m. with dinner and also prayer. Thank you, everyone.
Kemarin aku
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Subhanak la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. نوعنا تعلم التعليم والذكر والتذكير والنشر والانتفاع والإفادة والاستفادة بوجه الله تعالى وسط كتابه ومع سنة رسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Inshallah, more on some reflections on the theme of cultivating a caring community. I think yesterday post-Farjr, post-Subuh, we talked a bit about how we have to be in the best interest of each other, right? For example, when we're going through things together, we have to also think about not just the self, but also think about what I want best for my brother, what I want best for my sister. Right? So there's that Arabic proverb, as-sahibu sahibu, that the sahabat, that the friend is the one that drags, that you want the best for them, you have to pull them through as well. Right? And that's loyalty, that's trust with each other, inshallah. I wanted to focus on another important ingredient in the recipe of cultivating a caring community. I think, Brother Omar, inshallah, yesterday, he kind of I'm pretty sure he went through lots of things about creating that community, right? That sense of community as well. I want to emphasize for today, inshallah, the idea that, as we grow as a community, as we see to our left, to our right, the people that we interact with, the brothers and sisters that we interact with, we're going to be at different levels of religiosity, we're going to be at different levels of practice, we're going to be at different levels of just trying, right? We're going to be all on this bus called the struggle bus. We're all going to be struggling one way or another, right? Perhaps someone has their prayer down, right? Perhaps someone has their Quran down. Perhaps someone has their fasting down. Perhaps someone can be more patient than others, right? Perhaps someone can do something better than others, right? And vice versa. Right? And so the idea here is to have a good opinion with each other, to think the best with each other. That in the Arabic is called husn al-dhan. Husn al-dhan. And so that's very important. And so kind of like the golden axiom that we find ourselves trying to meet when we see any other person, whether it be our friends, whether it be our family, whether it be our parents, whether it be even our strangers that we meet every single day, there's three things I want everyone to think about, inshallah. So in terms of having a good opinion, number one is that when you meet someone younger than you, you think to yourself, mashallah, this person, they're younger than me, they haven't done as many mistakes as I've done. They haven't done what they're not supposed to be doing. Perhaps in my situation where I've gone through some bad choices, I've gone through some vices and so on and so forth, right? So that person, that young person, is pristine. Allah make me similar to that person where I can be doing less of wrong choices and less of mistakes. Right? That's a younger person. Now for the older person, you look to someone that's older than you, maybe a year older than you, maybe 10 years older than you, maybe 20 years older than you, and you say, mashallah, that person, they've gone through life. And so the husn al-dhan kind of approach, the good opinion approach, is that they've done more good in their lifetime than me. Right? And I aspire to that. Right? And I'm inspired seeing that. Right? And so I want to aspire myself towards doing that good. Right? So you see the younger person, you see, okay, they've done less of vices, you've seen less mistakes. The older person, you see that they've filled their scale, right? They've done all this good. They're in the community, they're helping out with each other, right? So both ways. And that's particularly the case of someone being Muslim, right? What about someone that's a stranger? What if someone that's a non-Muslim, perhaps? What if someone that's still, yet to profess faith? Now, when you see someone that's a non-Muslim, you think to yourself, perhaps that person is already chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to go to the paradise, to be someone that's good. You think to yourself towards the Sahabas. When you think towards the Sahabas, the companions, that was a culture of, tribalism.
a culture of where children were buried, right? Specifically daughters, and alive, right? And so you think to that kind of culture itself and how they did a flip 180 towards where they would only boast in hosting people and so on and so forth, and they would be very prideful and proud of themselves, right? And so, there's a 180 flip that switch, right? So perhaps from seeing, for example, a non-Muslim friend, a non-Muslim coworker, someone that I meet, even perhaps a stranger that I don't even know, perhaps by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah has chosen them to be of His loved ones, right? And so that's the idea of in between someone that you see that's younger than you. You think to yourself, how old am I right now? You think to yourself, okay, there are people that are younger than me. And you think to yourself, how old am I? And you see to yourself, how there are older people than you. And even to the people that, perhaps they're not Muslim, right? Non-Muslims. And so you see yourself, okay, their situation is similar to the Sahaba situation. That perhaps they are, chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in that regard, right? So keep those three in mind, inshallah, when you're thinking about good opinions. And we're thinking about good opinions when we're going through this process. And remember that we're going through this process together, right? We're going through this process together. Be understanding of that, be mindful of that, be aware of that, inshallah ta'ala. The person younger than you, the person older than you, and the person that perhaps is not even sharing the same faith. But recognize that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can have good for everyone, inshallah ta'ala. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so that we are people of husn al-thought, that we are people of good opinion with each other, that is part and parcel of creating a very caring community. Because once we understand that, that perhaps there are things that they're good that I can take away from every single person that I meet, that develops a more sense of care. Like, oh, okay, this person, there's something special about them. Right? I don't know what it is, but there's something special. Let me look for it. And so that's the idea of a very important ingredient in creating that community, inshallah ta'ala. We're going to have more about that, inshallah, as we close this day. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us develop a sense of care for each other, with each other. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so that we can have a good opinion with each other. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so that we are not too judgmental with each other. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so we can be a people that are sincere. We ask Allah to make us a people that are truly thankful to Allah, that are truly a people of gratitude, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless our communities and to have mercy upon our communities and to accept our communities for the good that we do, Ya Allah. And we ask Ya Allah to forgive us for the mistakes that we do.
Amin, Ya Allah.
حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. We seek you, Ya Allah, for the good in this world and the good in the hereafter. And we seek your protection from the fire of our Alameen. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalamu alaikum wa
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi. Sallallahu ala Muhammad. Jazakumullah khairan. Sampai ketemu lagi di acara-acara berikutnya dari Los Angeles, California, Masjid At-Thohir, Amerika Serikat.